Hello everyone, welcome back. We have a lot to go over today, so I want to get started right away. Today's video is how to free yourself from the negative influence of other people. I am all about the practice of self-development, and I know you are as well. One of the practices that test us the most when it comes to our journey of self-development is the ability to not be affected by other people's negativity and behavior. Until you reach the point in your self-development journey to where other people no longer affect you, it is very important to take the necessary steps to get toxic people out of your life if you can. I know that sounds easier said than done, but if you can get negative people, toxic people out of your life, you need to do this. You are much better off spending time alone than you are with people that bring you down. And this doesn't mean that eventually you can't bring those people back in. But while you're on this self-development journey and you're still struggling with being affected by others, you need to avoid them at all costs if possible. I like to call the negative people weeds, and I like to call the positive people seeds. So how do we go about pulling weeds, or the people that bring us down or bring negativity to our life? And in contrast to that, how do we go about planting seeds or cultivating the good seeds that we already have in our life? Well, in an upcoming video, I would be happy, if you would like me to talk about how we cultivate those positive people, those good seeds in our life, or how we go about planting new seeds, getting more positive people in our life. Some people have a lot of negativity in their life. They could be in a family that it's just all negativity. And I've talked before about the snowball effect, where this started generations and generations ago, and it just circulates on to the next. And how if you want to save your children from going through what you're going through or what you've lived, you will need to be the one to break that vicious cycle of negativity. But it's very difficult to do. And if you're not there on your self-development journey, you're not going to be able to do it. So the work has to take place with you, the inner work. Often those negative people have a hold on us. They have a grip so tight that it's almost as if we can't breathe. And that's where you need to free yourself. So let's talk about how you go about pulling those weeds, the negative, the bad behavior, people that bring you down, people that keep you from seeing your worth and value, which again, that's partly your fixing, but again, in your self-development journey, that will come. I promise you, it will come. The very first thing that I want to recommend is you make a list of every single person that you are in a relationship with, are an acquaintance with. This is everybody in your family. This is everybody you work with, all of your friends, any clubs or associations you're in, if you're in anything with your church, everybody that you have some type of relationship with where you have to engage in conversation. This could be your hairstylist, your nail tech, your massage therapist. You really have to think a lot about the people that you are in communication with. So you're going to make a list of everybody. Once your list is complete, you are going to grade these people. I know it seems extreme, but again, we are on your self-development journey. Now, I don't need to do this for myself. It's just not necessary. But my self-development journey is pretty solid, and I've worked my way to get there. So rarely am I really affected or penetrated by anybody. But if I am, I need to reassess, and often I'm looking at myself. What could I be doing to contribute to this? But we'll get to that. You've got your list made. Now you're going to start grading, and you're either going to give someone a plus sign or you're going to give a person a minus sign. And what's the difference between the two? Well, I think you probably can pick up on minus being a negative and a plus sign being a positive. So you're going to look at each person and you're going to start putting their grade next to them. It's either going to be a minus or a plus. And the things you're going to be asking yourself along this process are questions like, are there people in my life that are always complaining or blaming others for their circumstances? Are there people who are always judging others, comparing themselves to others, making others look bad to make them look better? Do these people spread negative gossip? Or are they just always talking about how bad everything is? Again, negative, negative, negative. Everything that comes out of their mouth is pretty much negative. Are there people on this list who just by calling you, when you look down and see their name, they bring tension to you? They bring stress and disorder before you even say hello to that phone call. Or perhaps you don't even take the call. You let it go to voicemail. Are some of these people dream stealers? They tell you your dreams will never happen. It's impossible, and they try to dissuade you from going after anything that you set out to do. They're not going to support you in pursuing your goals. Do you have friends that constantly attempt to bring you back to their level? These are your negative and toxic people. These are the people that are going to get the minus sign. These are the people that you are going to either eliminate from your life, which not saying they can't come back in, or you are going to refrain from spending time with them at all cost, if at all possible. And people will tell me it's not possible when I do coaching sessions with them, because I do a lot of coaching sessions on this topic right here. And I always tell them, who's in control? Nobody can force you to be around somebody you don't want to be. You may be choosing to be around them, but nobody can force it. Even if you are at a gathering with all of your family and there's that one person that is negative and toxic, you can still avoid a one-on-one conversation with them. So you do have more control than what you give yourself credit for. And don't forget about my video. Saying no to one thing is saying yes to something else. So saying no to negativity and toxicity and these people that bring you down is saying yes to your self-development journey. And again, once you get there, these people will no longer affect you. But right now, while you're trying to work through this, you need to eliminate them at all cost. You're also going to recognize on your list that many people, I hope anyway, received a plus sign. And the reason these people received a positive mark is because, for the most part, they are a positive person. They are most likely happy. They are eager to learn. They have a good disposition about them. They see the glass half full, if not overflowing. They give off an energy. You feel good when you're around them. They leave you better than they found you. They have no trouble saying, I'm sorry, and they have no trouble saying thank you. They encourage you at your goals and at your dreams. They may even give positive input on how to get there. You generally won't hear too much negativity come out of their mouth. And a lot of times it's just personality. They usually have pretty good self-esteem. Generally, these people are doing pretty well on their self-development journey, because that's what it is. It's a journey. We are on a road to success. I have that video too, the road to success, which we're always on. We're never completely there, but we're always working towards it. These people make you feel good. And these are the people we enjoy to be around. These are our seeds. These are our seeds where we cultivate the relationships, and potentially we may seek out more seeds that we can plant in our life and put ourselves in positions where that can happen. Sometimes it's really where we put ourselves. If you're hanging out with the crowd that brings you down, well, why do you think you're always down, right? But if you're hanging around the positive people, you're going to tend to be more positive. You know, they do say that our beliefs and thinking and how we live our life have a lot to do with the 5 closest people that we connect with. And it makes sense. Think about when you tell your children that. If you hang around the kids doing the bad stuff, it's going to be your call to do bad, but you're going to be more heavily influenced to do so. You're going to have a bigger fight to resist, to partake in what they're doing. But if you hang around kids that make good decisions, they're going to complement that, right? We tell our kids this all the time. but are we applying it? Are we practicing what we preach? Are we being a good role model ourselves? So the list is made, and you've got your pluses and you've got your minuses, and you could potentially see a pattern here. Maybe you recognize that, wow, the workplace is nothing but negativity and toxicity. That one you're going to be stuck with a little bit more. But again, you have a lot more control than you give yourself credit for, because you can be in a workplace and keep it all business, and you can choose to not bring up anything personal. Often we are baiting more than we think. We think everybody else is baiting us, but sometimes we're bringing in the bait as well. So be leery of that, but we'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. Like I mentioned earlier, you may also recognize that it's your whole family, and that's a tough one as well. But right now, you're on your self-development journey, so when you get that call to maybe go do something, you may need to decline, because saying no to one thing is saying yes to something else. Besides, isn't the goal to leave people better than you found them? You might need to consider spending more time with people that are going to leave you better than they found you. If you want to free yourself from negative people and toxicity, you have to eliminate yourself. Remember, nothing is impossible. Go back to my video, 14 things that successful people do that people that are not successful don't do. We have to take responsibility for ourselves, even if that comes with a price. Now, when you back off from some of these negative and toxic relationships, be quiet about it. Keep yourself humbled. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to make up excuses. It's better to not say anything at all. Just decline in the offer. Just decline on participating in the conversation. If you're seated at a table and one of the people seated with you is one of your minus signs, you may need to discreetly get up and do something else. Go play with the kids. Offer to feed somebody's baby. Do something else. You have that control. In closing, I want to encourage you to take a good look at yourself and ask yourself this question. If someone else was making this list, where would I fall? Would I receive a minus sign? Or would I receive a plus sign? Would I be viewed as negative or toxic? Or would I be viewed as positive, happy, encouraging, lifting, supporting? Good food for thought, because it's very easy for us to look at other people and see what their discrepancies are, but often we neglect to look at our own. When you're on a self-development journey, you will do a lot of self-assessing, and it can be hard, and you need to be very honest with yourself. Nobody else needs to know. You have beautiful qualities and beautiful traits. We all do. Every single one of us. Yes, even you. I know. And me. But that doesn't mean that everything we do in our behavior is always in line with what we say it is. So it's one thing to say I'm a happy, positive, energetic person. But the question is, what symbol would other people give you? Maybe you should go back and look at your list and every single name on there, starting at the very top with the person that maybe you gave a minus to. Ask yourself, what would they give me? Would they give you a minus as well? If so, why is that? It's something you need to ask yourself, and it's a hard question. But to truly become a well-developed person, you have to get out some hard facts about yourself. Maybe if you feel you could, with an open mind, ask your spouse what he or she would say. Most people would consider you. But don't ask that question if you're not willing to hear the truth. It doesn't mean he doesn't love you. You're just asking for the honest truth. Let me know if you found this helpful. Thoughts? Suggestions? Would you like me to do a follow-up video where I talk about how to cultivate those seeds that we already have, plant them, water them, fertilize them? or how to seek out and find new seeds that we can plant and add to the seeds that we already have to make our field just flourish. If you would like that video, let me know. I'd be happy to do it. This all speaks my language. I do one-on-one coaching all the time on this topic, and usually it's an ongoing thing. Many people reach out to me just for their own self-development, and I love and I have passion to help. It is my purpose, and I love to see people grow on their self-development journey. So you let me know. Coaching session link will be below. Thoughts, suggestions, other videos you'd like to see. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great weekend. Take care.